Welcome to BMS videos. Today we are going to discuss chapter number 12, electricity of class 6 science. So you all know what is electricity. Electricity is a source of energy. It is very important for our living. We can't imagine a day without electricity because the things we use, they are all dependent on electricity, right? The day begins with the things that work on electricity, like you need to wake up early in the morning. What do you require? Digital clock. So it contains what? Electric cells. They are also based upon electricity. And whenever you want to take a bath with the hot water, what is required? Geysers. They operate on electricity. And for your food as well, electricity plays a major role. Like you want to grind food, then you want to make the toast. So what is required? Electricity. We are fully dependent on electricity. Now think about the tasks that can be done using electricity. Whenever you want to wash clothes, what is required? Electric machines. Making ice, like you use refrigerators operate on what? Electricity. Yes. For drilling a hole, even simple to simple thing, for a simple to simple thing we need electricity. So these are the few tasks that can be done with the help of electricity, like purifying water, grinding food, ringing a bell. So all these are the examples where electricity plays an important role. Next is electric cell. As we know, electricity is a form of energy. So, 1 minute. Appliances such as watch, cameras, they need what? Small amount of energy. To operate such appliances, what is required? Electric cells. Electric cells produce electric current. So you all might have seen the cells. They consist of positive, negative terminal, and they are used to operate even simple devices like your toys, for playing them, for making the sound in them. What is required? These electric cells. A set of electric cells is commonly called as battery. So these group of cells, they form what? Battery. Then we have two types of cells, chargeable and non-chargeable. Like you can charge also, and some cells you cannot charge, you have to take new one. Next is the structure of the electric cell. Now what does it consists of from the inside part? Inner view of it we'll discuss. At the top, this part, there is a positive sign. For the metal cap, it is a positive terminal of the cell. This positive sign depicts the positive terminal of the cell. At the bottom of the cell, there is what? Negative terminal. On the metal disc, it is the negative terminal of the cell. So the positive sign indicates the positive terminal, negative sign indicates the negative terminal of the cell. A cell is filled with chemicals which react to produce electricity. So inside it, some of the chemicals are present that helps to produce electricity. Electric cells, they convert what? Now chemicals are present inside it, so they'll convert chemical energy into electric energy. When the chemical gets used up, means it gets finished, it is all used up, the cell stops producing electricity. Then cell won't produce any sort of electricity, we have to replace it with new one. Sorry. Now you can see the inner part, filament is there. It is what? The thin wire in a bulb that glows when electricity is passed through it. Then terminals, positive and negative terminals, as we have discussed. This is all about a bulb. And inside of this electric bulb there is a small and simple light source that uses this filament to glow when electricity is passed through it. We'll discuss it in detail now. What actually is this bulb? The bulb is made up of thin clear glass. The outer view is what? It's a glass, clear glass. We can view what is inside it. Inside it there is a filament. Thin wire is there. That wire is known as filament. It is made up of tungsten metal. The name of the metal is tungsten. The filament is fixed onto two thick wires. This filament is fixed onto two thick wires. These. The other wire is one wire is attached to the metal node, this part, and the other is attached to the metal cover at the side of the bulb, this part. The two connections of thick wires serve as positive and negative terminals. So these depicts positive and negative terminals. Then inside it there is a partial, this part is vacuum. Partial vacuum is there and it is filled with argon gas. Which gas is filled inside it? Argon gas, which protects the filament and prevent it from breaking. It just prevents it from breaking so that it won't break. Now question arises how it works. The electricity flows through tungsten filament. It becomes extremely hot. Means this electricity is first passed through the tungsten filament, then it becomes hot. The hot filament begins to glow. It shines and it produces heat. Why this now question arises, why tungsten metal is used? Why not steel, iron, these sort of metal are used? There is a reason for this. Tungsten melts at very high temperature. That's why it doesn't melt even if it becomes extremely hot. Means its melting point is quite high. It melts at very high temperature. If the filament of a bulb breaks, suppose due to much electricity, filament gets break, the electricity cannot pass through it, so the bulb is said to be fused. We have to take new one now. A fused bulb can't produce electricity. It has to be replaced by the new one. Now all of you might have seen some lights during Diwali festival also. These sort of lights. What are these actually? The glowing parts, small these lights. What are these? These are actually LEDs. Now we'll discuss what are these. It is the inner part of this LED. It is denoted by this positive terminal as well as negative terminal. Longer lead has positive terminal and the shorter one has negative terminal. Now, what is the actually full form of this LED? LED is what? It is a light emitting diode. They are of how many types? They are of 5 types. They are available in these colors: red, this is the red one, then green, then blue, yellow, white. It has a thick metal strip inside instead of a thin delicate wire. It has a thick strip. Like in a bulb there was a wire, here we have a metal strip. It consumes less electricity and produces less heat, thus they are unbreakable. Nowadays bulbs are quite few used because they have been replaced by these LEDs. Why? Because they consume less electricity and they produce less heat. They are not broken upon easily. They allow electricity to flow in one direction from positive to negative terminal. Means this longer part is denoted by this positive terminal and shorter by negative. So this electricity will flow from this positive to negative terminal. The longer wire is, again as we have discussed earlier, the longer wire of LED is positive terminal and the shorter one is negative terminal. Now what are the benefits of using these LEDs? Number one, they have a long life. Why they have a long life? Because they have thick metal strip instead of thin tungsten wire. So they have a long life. Durability is more. They last for up to 6 to 11 years. Obviously you will go for the LEDs. We want to see the durability only, that a thing can last for years. We'll use that only. They use less electricity. Now if we have to, for the consumption of electricity, we have to see how much bill we have to pay. So these LEDs, they consume less electricity, so we'll prefer these only. They are made from tough material and unbreakable. They cannot be broken easily. So these are the benefits of LED bulbs. So for today, this is our portion. Next we'll discuss further in next video. Thank you.